Hey guys, this is Kinuj from canadadarshan1000. Today I will be answering the questions asked by you guys. You guys asked me questions on different social networks like YouTube, Facebook, and other networks. So I'll be answering those questions. Some questions were asked repeatedly, and most of the questions were about people who are going to be visiting Canada and the Canadian lifestyle and the needs and all those things. I know it's very challenging. Anything new we are going to do in our lives, there are going to be questions about anything new. So if you're visiting a new country, if you're coming to visit or stay or study, so there are going to be very many questions, and I'll be happy to answer all those questions today. I did pick up few questions, and I'll be answering those questions today. But before we start, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also press the bell icon button for further notifications. So the first question I'm going to take is you asked me, I am coming to Canada in the month of October to Edmonton, and what kind of clothes I should bring with me. So yes, I will tell you what kind of clothes, but you did not tell me what country you are coming from, because if you are used to hot weather, if you are used to cold weather, that makes a lot of difference. But I am gonna guide you what kind of clothes and what kind of weather or the season it's going to be in October. So you know, Canada is a country which has a harsh winter. Especially Edmonton area is one of the places where there is a really harsh winter months, and it can, in October, it can be a very pleasant time, but it can be, you can also see snow, a lot of snow in the month of October. So in October you should be prepared for anything. So for that you can bring a light jacket, you can bring one heavy jacket, boots will be very handy, scarves, gloves and hat. All these things will be very handy when you have to get out of the house and from the car. So yes, you have to bring warm clothes, a jacket and boots for sure. And the other question was asked, I am coming to Canada, and how much is the tuition fee for international students in undergraduate program in Ontario? So the question is that I am coming, or you are looking to get the admission in Ontario. You just want to know how much is the fee for the undergraduate program in Ontario. So I will let you know. Across Ontario, international students tuition fee for undergraduate arts and science is about Canadian dollar 20,500 as per CIBC report of 2017. So there can be maybe different fee in other provinces, but this is across the Ontario, this is how much fee the international student will be paying for the undergrad program. So the next question is, what benefits do I have if I am permanent resident of Canada? So Canadian permanent resident, landed immigrants and citizens enjoy the same rights. For example, free healthcare, free elementary and secondary education, but permanent residents cannot do these two things, which are permanent resident cannot hold Canadian passport. So if you are not a citizen, you cannot have a Canadian passport. Permanent residents cannot vote. So if you are a permanent resident or if you are a landed immigrant, you cannot vote. but you can have same rights as, like, if your kid is going to school, if you are going to school, you will have a free education and all the health benefits. But two things you cannot do is you cannot vote and you cannot hold a Canadian Canadian passport. Okay, the next question is if you are only visiting, okay, it is I am coming to visit Canada in August. Can I go to USA from Canada? Yes, you can go from Canada to USA, but it is better that if you have a visa from your country you are traveling from. Some countries, sometimes it's easy to get visa from the country you are visiting to the other country, but to be on the safe side, it's always good that you do have a visa. You will not be able to go without the visa from Canada to the US. So you make sure that from whichever country you're coming, make sure that if you have to take the visa from your country of origin, from where you are traveling to Canada, or if there is a provision that you can also take a visa when you come to Canada to visit the USA. Okay, and the next question is, I am coming to Canada this year for work. I am coming alone. I am a vegetarian. How is the food in Canada? So I understand that you are coming for work without a family, you are by yourself, and you are a vegetarian person. So in North America, there are a lot of food choices for non-vegetarian people, but now you will find there are places which do provide the vegetarian options as well. But if you like to eat out every day, you will not find many choices for vegetarian. You'll have to really find and pick. And if you are non-vegetarian, of course, everywhere you go you can find that food. But the best bet will be that if you are living by yourself, if you can cook your own food, that is a very good option. But don't worry, as I said, there are a lot of options, and you will get a vegetarian food, but maybe not too much variety, but you will surely survive. And next question asked was, do I need insurance when I travel to Canada? Yes, it is very important that you are traveling to Canada. You should be having insurance for whatever time you are traveling for. If you are coming for vacation, if you are coming to stay for a few months, whatever your need is, whatever your purpose is, it is always a good idea to have insurance. If you have to see a doctor, God forbids, when you're in Canada, the cost of medication, cost of seeing a doctor can be huge. So you don't want to avoid those heavy bills. So it's always a good idea to get insurance, that you are traveling to a new country, but you also have your peace of mind, meaning that you don't have to worry if you ever have to go and seek any help for the medication or anything about the health. If you have to see a doctor, that's very important thing, because the healthcare here, if you are not covered, is very, very expensive. Okay, and the next question is, I live in Punjab, India. Where is Canadian Embassy? So the answer is in Chandigarh, Punjab, Consulate General of Canada. So there is a place called Chandigarh in Punjab, and there is a Consulate General of Canada. So you can find out more about that. The next question is, I am visiting Canada from Nepal. How much I pay to see the Niagara Falls? So you are visiting from Nepal, that's very good, but when you come to Canada, you can go to Niagara Falls. You don't have to pay any fee to see the Niagara Falls. It's free. Once you are in Niagara Falls is a city, and then there is a Niagara Falls in that city. So you have to pay to travel to Niagara Falls city, but you don't have to pay anything to watch the falls in Niagara Falls. So in other words, you don't pay anything unless you want to go for boat rides on the Niagara Falls, or there are other activities in the Niagara Falls, then you will be paying some fee to enjoy those activities. But just to watch and see the Niagara Falls, you don't have to pay nothing. The next question is, do I have to learn English and French both to come to Canada? So you don't have to learn both the languages when you come to Canada. Even if you know one language, that is okay. But even if you don't know language, if you end up coming to Canada, you will start to, understand, you will start to speak, because that's all you'll have to speak whenever you step outside the house. So yeah, if you know one of those languages, it's very good. But if you know both, that's even excellent. The next question is, I am visiting USA, America in September 2019. Can I use American money in Canada? Yes, you can use American money in Canada for sure. But the only thing is some people will just take the American money, but most people will give you the conversion. They will convert the American money to Canadian money, and they will use the exchange rate of that day. Say, for example, if you are coming on the 30th of any month, say if you're coming there on the 30th of August, from US to Canada, and you're purchasing something, they will use the exchange rate for that day, the 30th of August, to convert that money from the US to Canadian money. But yeah, you can use their money for sure. And the next question is, I live in England. How can I immigrate to Canada? I like Canada a lot. Yes, you live in UK, England. The best way is to do some research, and also I would recommend you to visit the Canadian consulate in the UK to get more detailed knowledge or information about that. And also you will be learning more options. What are your options? What is your status right now, and how many options you have, and then you can choose the best option. The next question is going to be, I want to apply to visit Canada, what I need. So someone has asked that they want to come to Canada, they want to apply for the visa or to come to Canada, what do you need? So from whichever country you are coming to Canada, you do need these things. Number one, you must have good health, meaning that your health should be good to travel or to visit. Number two, you must have valid passport. So what that means is that you need a passport, valid passport, to travel from your country to Canada. The next number third is you must have valid passport, I already said. And the next one is good character. You should have a good character to visit Canada. And the next one is must have enough money or funds to show to support your application. So what that means is that if you are visiting Canada from your country of origin, you should be having enough money to show that you can support your trip, meaning that you can fund your trip, you can afford it. So that is very important. And also the last thing is that you should be able to convince your officer who is interviewing you in the interview that there is a reason that you will be returning back to your country you're not going to overstay in Canada. That is very important, that you have to convince the person who's taking the interview that you are going to come back to your country, and you probably have to give them solid reasons why would you come back and not overstay. And the next question is how long it takes to get a tourist visa to Canada. So Canadian tourist visa, which is TRV, processing takes anywhere from 2 days to 4 weeks. So it can take 2 days, it can take 4 weeks, up to 4 weeks, or even longer, depending on the urgency of the visa. There can be some sensitive situations when the visa is granted very quickly, depending on the sensitivity and how much urgent it is to get a visa. And the next question is going to be, I want to come to Canada, but I don't know English. You can learn English if you can from the country you are coming to Canada. You can take classes, you can take some kind of coaching, or you can even learn yourself if you want. But if you can't do that, if you are not in the position to learn English, you can always come to Canada. And once you come here, slowly but for sure, you will get to speak, you will get to be more comfortable with the language. And then when you come here, then probably it will be more challenging, and then you will make more efforts to learn the English. But don't worry, you will be able to start communicating slowly but surely in English when you come here. But it's always a good idea, because it's hard if you don't know the language. If you're visiting a new country, if you don't know the language, then it's very hard to fit in sometimes, and it's very hard to communicate if you don't know the language. And the next question is going to be, I am in Philippines. If I come to Canada, can I meet singer Justin Bieber? So I think most of you know who is Justin Bieber. I will just tell you who Justin Bieber is if someone does not know. Justin Bieber is a Canadian singer. He's a young Canadian singer recognized all over the world. He sings very well. Yes, if you are a fan of Justin Bieber, for sure you want to see him. You just can't come and go to his house to see him. It does not happen like that. But if you are his fan really, contact him on his social media, and I'm sure he will get back to you sooner or later. But yeah, if you like him, I like him too. He sings very well. The next question is, I need to leave Canada and I don't have permanent resident card. Can I later return to Canada without a PR card or permanent resident card? So the answer is, you need a valid permanent resident or PR card to return to Canada by plane, by boat, by bus or train. You do need the card. But if you know your card is expiring before you leave the country, it is always a good idea to renew your PR card before you leave, because the Canadian government will not send the PR card to non-Canadian address. So if you know that your PR card is expiring before leaving the country, it is a good idea that you apply for the extension or for renewal, that you know that when you are coming back you don't have any problem. But if you are already in some other country, your PR card cannot be sent to any non-Canadian address, that is for sure. So make sure you know and talk to the Canadian embassy or the Canadian consulate before you go. Take somebody's advice that you are not have any difficulties when you want to come back. Okay, so that was all about the questions and answers today. I hope you did listen to the answers. You asked the questions, and I hope you also got the answer. If not, please do not hesitate to ask the questions. I will be answering more questions in future for sure. And also, please, you can ask the questions on any social networks like YouTube. I am on Facebook, Instagram, also on Twitter, so you can use any of those social networks to ask the questions. And if you have any further questions relating to the answers I have given you today, so feel free to ask those, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. And I'm gonna pick up some more questions for the next video, so hopefully you will stay tuned to know more about Canada, and I will be coming back soon. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Thank you.